everybody, it's Morphin Mania time. I'm Captain Logan, that's DJ. As you know, it's turbo time, because we told you a couple episodes when we were finishing Zeo that this was recorded already and people had seen it live. And we are now actually doing that. It's very complicated time travel nonsense.
It's turbo time. I can't believe you just quoted one of my favorite movies that you hate.
That was completely unintentional. I like how some folks in the comments are now reporting whether or not they're going to actually stick around and watch this with us. It's fantastic.
Yeah, let us know.
Yeah. So thanks for bearing with us if you decide to do that. HBO Max is currently the streaming place where you can watch this if you want to. So it gives you one more reason to waste a free trial, I guess, on HBO Max, or to subscribe if you really want to keep going with that. I sort of love the idea, the horrible mean side of me that somebody might accidentally pay $15 because they watched Turbo because they forget after the 7 days. To get rid of that. So no, if you get the free trial just for that, don't keep it. You know, make sure that you shut it down unless there's other things that you want to watch. The Day Ghost in the comments earlier said, "Hi Day Ghost." He said, "Oh no, there's Power Rangers in this." Yes, there are.
Well, barely, just at the very end.
Barely. Noah O just said, "Oh." So this will be fun. This will be the first thing on Morphin Mania in a good long time that we've actually done live. We used to do all of these shows live, and we've kicked around bringing it back to a live show again. At some point, we might do that. We've been jumping back and forth with that. But lately, because of our schedules, we've been having to shoot just whenever we have a chance to shoot, and it hasn't really made sense to make it live because we can't give anybody any kind of notice. So we gave you notice this time and didn't tell you what we were doing because it was the only way you'd be here.
We bamboozled you.
Okay, so if you watch on HBO Max, let me mention that there's a quick 5-second like HBO Max logo. Get past that. Okay. So not timestamp 0. If you're watching on the DVD, I don't think this is on Blu-ray. But if you're watching this on video, timestamp 0. If you're watching on HBO Max, timestamp 5 seconds. 5 seconds.
Yeah. I am there, sir.
All right, we're gonna jump right into it. Here we go. Timestamp 0 or timestamp 5 seconds. Get ready to press play when I say now. Here we go. Everybody, please press play. Oh, God. Not again. Right now. Here it comes, man.
Oh, the classic logo. Discontinued logo at this point.
That's right. You know, when I was in junior high and high school, I was wondering why they didn't up this to 21st Century Fox. And then I think there was like an offshoot or something of Fox. There was like 21st Century Films or something. I can't remember what it was, but there actually was a thing that said 21st Century for a while. But you also still had 20th Century Fox. DJ, people are asking what the silhouette is.
Oh, you'll see, my friend. You will see.
You're about
plenty
to see
of
him.
it. Yeah, he's first up. Well, first up is like a Star Wars ripoff.
And he really should be the theme song of the movie too. This should open with.
Did they do this in the first movie too? I can't remember.
Yeah, they did.
The Star Wars thing? Wow.
Yeah, yes, they did the crawl, because remember, they did it to kind of retcon stuff because that movie was standalone and didn't count in the canon. And if you'll remember, we'll just talk about the original movie and not this movie during this. The 95 movie is... let's see, so we got Zordon here. I had to listen for a second. I wasn't sure who was talking. So we got Zordon here in the original, or in the 97 movie, or the 95 movie rather. Sorry, it's a Dulcia who does the opening.
Yeah, this is such a blatant this is Star Wars' thing, man. You can't do this.
Yeah, but it's like, well,
they do it twice.
It's got space aliens, so we can do spacey things. And then finally, we just blatantly do Power Rangers. If anything deserved to do that, it was Power Rangers in space. Except that show is a lot more reminiscent of Star Trek than it is Star Wars.
Yeah, sci-fi more than.
I guess it's got some magic stuff in it too, or does it not? Are its villains all entirely science-based?
No, I mean, I'm sure that villains are just like monsters, but.
And when I say science-based, I mean very loosely. Yes, One and Only Productions, we are watching Turbo, a Power Rangers movie.
We just had the arrow cam. That's like the Batarang cam when you put that in Batman Returns.
Yeah, but it also looks like that shot at the very beginning was an arrow shot. It absolutely looked like it came out of that TV show. So this is a pilot before it's a movie. It is completely misleading. This was aired in theaters. This came out in theaters. It shouldn't have. Of course, the production values are bigger than the TV show would have. I'm not saying that they didn't make a movie production out of this, but it's the budget was much less than the '95 movie. It's a lot. It's certainly weaker production values than that movie had, and it is just establishing everything that's going to be in that TV show, including a new ranger who's a little kid who grows when he morphs, and the new villains, and here are new stormtroopers, our new putties. It's really kind of unfortunate that we couldn't even afford to have like necks on these suits. You see open like human necks on the Piranatrons here.
Well, these don't look like the later Piranatrons. These are like generals. Like they can ride horses and everything. Like putties couldn't ride horses.
So are these not actually Piranatrons?
Those are, but the ones on the horses had like human.
No, but look at the back of these guys. The actual Piranatrons, they've got open. You can see their flesh. Yeah. It's ridiculous.
Well, the Piranatrons are completely American. I think, yeah.
Well, they look it. We really skimped on those costumes.
Sentai had like pirate guys.
So Larigo is horrifying. I just want to put a pin in that. He's a Furby and he's terrifying, and he's what the silhouette was. It's Larigo.
Yeah, of course. Everyone knows famous Larigo. It's like Dark Crystal Labyrinth Larigo.
So I'm a total jerk, but I'm gonna say it once again. We don't have our best actor in Power Rangers with Rocky, and even when he's doing the thing that he's really good at, which is martial arts, his acting is still really unfortunate. Like just in his face.
Merrily.
I give him a hard time a lot. Why can't I think of his name right now? Help me out.
Steve Cardenas.
Cardenas, that's it. Yeah. But as I've said before, he is one of the nicest guys ever. I've met him twice in person. He's great.
He's cool. He hasn't aged at all, too. He looks great.
Sorry about my dogs. They are barking. Because
I can't even hear.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, then I'm not sorry about my dogs. Stephen Murphy says this is the Clone Wars movie of the Power Rangers franchise. Yeah, but you had to have like really good Power Rangers movies before you could say Clone Wars, because the '95 movie also only got a 1.5 on Superhero Rewind. You didn't have Star Wars or Empire Strikes Back, you know? I mean, you had Green with Evil. You had some good TV show stuff, but... I mean, not that Green with Evil as a Superhero Rewind would probably get more than a 2 or a 2.5 if you're comparing it to anything else.
Such a sad way to start a Power Rangers movie. One of the Power Rangers breaks his back.
Just right away. Couldn't we have had maybe some kind of throwaway... Because, I mean, this movie's patterned enough anyway. Maybe this movie should have opened... like the last movie, well, there was parachuting and rollerblading, but after that, maybe this movie should have opened with a big Power Ranger fight where they're fighting something, and then after that, Rocky gets taken out. Or maybe, here's a crazy novel notion, DJ, maybe this injury should have happened while he was being a Power Ranger.
Yeah.
How about that?
Well, they're invincible. They're invulnerable.
That'd be amazing.
What is this green planet? Is this Larigo's planet? Oh, it is. See, this is cool. I wonder where we shot this.
Mutale says the number of viewers has already dropped. Yeah. We started with 23 and we're down to 13, which is exactly what I thought would happen.
But we will rise up stronger than ever.
We will. I want to apologize for wasting people's time, but this is a thing we had to do, and we really wanted to do it live. We thought this was the best way to handle it.
Don't worry, man. Once the Larigo fans find out.
The Larigo fans! Should I end the title now, say that it's Turbo, and see if that brings in anybody?
Oh, this is the grossest, like, creepiest looking, like, #1 henchman guy. His face is so... Ugh. Editing on the fly, Cap is.
That's what I'm doing, man.
So as we just watched the last episode of Zeo, I'm interested to watch. Like, there's like a big leap. You think how much time do you think has passed?
Between Zeo and this, I want to think that there's... Yeah, I don't know. I mean...
Because Zed and Rita have just been doing nothing. And then there was that whole thing where Bulk and Skull quit.
And in this, they're going to be back working for him, but not as detectives. They're cops again. They've gone back to third season. What we really need is a boom comic series. Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
That would be amazing if they did that.
We've been doing Power Rangers together for so long now, we're finishing each other's sentences, but only when it has to do with Power Rangers. No, I think it would be a really good idea to do some kind of a graphic novel or a miniseries or something to fill that in and have some kind of really epic takedown Zed and Rita story. Because at the end of Zeo, we just finished that today for Morphin Mania, they're like, we're back! A dinosaur story, and then nothing happens.
Yeah, they're just snoozing in the house. And they have a house now. Last we knew, they just had an RV they were driving around in. Now they have a house.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Hilary Shepard Turner as Divatox is a lot of fun. She's kind of the saving grace of this movie. She still doesn't give it more than a 0 for me, but she is, if there is a saving grace, it's her, just because she's having so much fun, it's infectious. And the actress that comes in and replaces her for the first part of Turbo is really good. In fact, I think as a kid, I didn't know it was somebody else. And I think a lot of people had that. I think it was kind of like, different Ritas, like we didn't notice. And we really should have with Rita. I think the new actress, I don't know her name right off, in Turbo is close enough to this. But then Shepard actually comes back later and does the last, I think, 20 episodes or so.
Yeah, I'm interested to get into that because I've never seen that stuff. Those were actually really good puppet birds that we just saw.
Good job, Puppet Bird. Wow, you said something positive. That's a really good puppet lion. Oh, no, that's really good stock footage of a lion.
Yeah, that's nowhere near the puppet Larigo. It's kind of fun that they went to Africa with this Larigo puppet and just shot all this footage with animals and Larigo.
Carol Hoyt was the second Divatox, if anybody cares.
Oh, maybe they did actually get this puppet close to the lion.
Oh, yes, Stephen Murphy. She was in Deep Space Nine. She's great in that. She's in a couple of episodes. She's an augmented human who has special mental abilities based on some of the science from the eugenics wars in season 6 and 7. And she's in a group of augments that they're I don't know why suddenly this looks entirely different.
Yeah, totally new.
So we have a brand new power chamber, but it doesn't look anything like as good as the movie one, so I guess we just built a new one for this TV show. Or we took, like, movie budget so that we could, like, up our standards, I guess, for the new season. Except I don't think this looks any better or worse than the power chamber from Zeo as far as the production side of it. I don't like the layout as well. I think the Zeo power chamber is still way cooler.
Yeah, it's a lot bigger, and all the Power Ranger suits in the back are in, like, little Zordon chambers.
Yeah.
Zordon looks terrible, though. Did you see Zordon? He's now, like, his head is sideways, and it looks really weird.
Yeah,
it's all
very
cut
strange.
out like a chroma keyed.
It looks like they're like, look, we can shoot it from different angles now. I'm like, no, why don't you just keep shooting it straight on?
I don't need to see the beginning of Zordon's neck. It's really weird. I don't want to think about how his head works. Because he's more like a cloud in the original, but in here he has like a full solid head. It looks weird.
No, cinematographic. I'm pretty sure that DJ was kidding when he said Larigo fans. I don't think that there is such a thing.
No, they're coming. There is a fandom for everything on the internet, and Larigo, he's waiting for his moment.
Yeah, your strategy would have been to put Larigo in the title instead of Turbo. Like, Larigo, a Power Rangers movie. Oh my god, they're watching Larigo. Yes. The Larigo fans call it that like I call Fallen Kingdom Jurassic House. It's Larigo, the Power
Larigo
Power
cut.
Ranger.
Release the Larigo cut.
Where it's all just Larigo.
Just a music video.
That face of Tommy being really disappointed I used back in the day in the rewind where he's got his tongue out, he's just like, eh.
Man, this should be really cool. Like, this is like the first time we've lost a Ranger. Like, sometimes, I mean, the Rangers left before, but like, why can't we be with Rocky a little bit during this movie?
You're right. And we're not playing this epic the way we should. It's also obnoxious that we watched the Rangers use their powers in various places for the first, like, 45 minutes of this movie, and they never morph Zeo. Let them do that first. Like, are you afraid you're going to confuse an audience in a movie where they have to get new powers anyway? Just let them morph it once. Now, I will say that new, like, grayer Vasquez rock shot with the command center, that looks pretty cool.
Oh, I just missed it. I was looking at you.
Oh, sorry. We can rewind together, but we're not going to.
It's so weird that this movie has the same problem as the new movie, where there's no Rangers until, like, the last 10 minutes of the movie.
Which is the problem also with the 95 movie, except we at least get a cool fight at the beginning.
Exactly. At least, yeah. So why didn't they follow that formula? Because that worked for them, and at least do one fight at the beginning.
Because they're making a pilot. But then, if this was actually a pilot, we'd probably see him fight more in the pilot. At least they do more hand-to-hand stuff.
Yeah.
At the very least. Okay, so that is a monkey, but it's not Bulk or Skull, because they don't become monkeys until the first episode of the actual show. So nobody think that chimp is Bulk or Skull. But let's call that foreshadowing for the Bulk and Skull chimps.
Dude, Larigo is like... He looks like a hippie. He's got like a tied... I never noticed his mane was... I don't know if my VHS tape could pick this up, but he's got like a purple tie-dye mane.
Oh, that's true. I never really noticed that either. I'm sorry for all the Star Trek references, but
psychedelic.
He looks like Neelix in Voyager. That hair is bizarre. See, look, there's two chimps, but they're not Bulk and Skull.
Oh, backflip chimp. Give that chimp a raise. He's doing more action than the Power Rangers in this movie.
Yeah.
He just did 2 backflips.
He's doing his DJ impression. There's more than 2.
Later, Larigo will do the Cap on the trampoline impression.
Will just fall over a lot. This is embarrassing.
Larigo does fall over a lot.
Everything about this is embarrassing. Like, watching this, putting it in the title, the movie itself, it's all embarrassing.
Hashtag Larigo cut. One and only production.
Yeah, somebody in the comments.
Yes, spread that around. Maybe not today, because today's kind of a serious hashtag day, but later on, Larigo cut. So here's
people need some levity on a rough day like today.
Yeah.
Stephen Murphy says Larigo is like a living troll doll. He is. With Baby Yoda here now, we could get Baby Larigo. Please, God, no.
You will see Baby Larigo. Keep watching, sir.
Yeah, it's
Larigo's offspring is about to appear.
Now, something that you would not have gotten in the TV show, and you didn't, but that you wouldn't get in a pilot for Power Rangers usually is the, not to put too fine a point on it, but the sheer amount of cleavage we see in this movie.
For some reason, I knew you were going to say that.
Because they change her outfit in the show to be less revealing, less risque.
Yeah, I think this is the first Power Rangers villain where we kind of go that direction. I know, like, we have Astronema later and Trakina, but I don't think anyone was, like, attracted to Rita. But that's kind of like a thing later on.
Yeah, where we just start getting really attractive women, almost like we're trying to attract an audience that's probably not going to watch this show. But
like grew up and is too old for the show now.
That feels like the one place where they're really thinking about the fact that this is releasing in a theater and trying to appeal to as many demographics possible. It's like, well, there's going to be some middle-aged men that are going to be forced to take their kids to this, so we better have, you know, like a hot chick with some revealing clothing. Okay.
So yeah, I really need some backstory here. Like, why are they back with him?
This makes no sense. Yeah, they walked away from him and very clearly had no intention of coming back. And they weren't junior police anymore. Also, how did he get his job back? They all got fired.
Yeah, remember? They went and started their own Michael Scott Paper Company, and now they are back. See, there's a whole story there. How they got back on the force. Maybe they proved themselves.
I think there's a really good chance that Boom is already planning on making that, because right now in the comics, we're in Season 2 with White Ranger stuff and doing a lot of Between the Raindrops stuff there. I don't love how the comics didn't just, reboot and do, a fresh start with a lot of the iconography, but telling new stories, or telling some of the same stories, but, modernizing them and just giving them some more character dimension. But instead what they do is a bunch of between the raindrop stuff where everything is canonical.
Yeah, it's weird.
Except that the current series is in present day. So it's all canonical, but this stuff is in the 90s, and it's just retconned to be now. So there's, modern technology and cell phones and stuff. I mean, it's obnoxious the way they try to fit all that together. But anyway, we've already done a trade, a graphic novel for space with a Psycho Ranger story, and we with White Light went back and gave a reason for why Zordon and Alpha were able to make a new Ranger, and Tommy actually has to go on a quest in order to get a new power in order to do that. They don't just make it out of scratch. So the fact that this is a big giant oversight and they knew that was one, it tells me they might actually do that.
Wow, that's crazy. No, I thought that was an interesting take to do with instead of just Tom waltzing it and like doing it your own version with it. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it because I did finish the third trade, by the way.
Oh, cool.
So
I like a lot of the things they do in that, but ultimately I wish they had Tom waltzed it, and they got wise. Boom did with Buffy, where they've done what I wanted for Power Rangers with Buffy, and from the beginning in the first place.
Oh, cool.
In just doing it in actual reimagining.
So here we finally get more of that stuff we liked in Zeo, where we didn't get enough of, where Bulk and Skull are like intertwined with the Ranger story. Like that one episode, Where in the World is Zeo Ranger 5 or whatever, where they go into Bulk and Skull actually like join the Resistance in that.
With that really cool mercenary
fight.
Guy or bounty hunter guy, yeah.
That's what Bulk and Skull need to do. They need to get more into the action instead of just like dressing up as women or
what they should have done? They should have left Bulk and Skull in space and had him follow that bounty hunter guy, because that guy was good enough to carry some scenes and be a new recurring character, right? And then they should have stayed in space, and then we should have, when we got to space, finally caught up to them. So they would have all these adventures that have nothing to do with the actual episodes that we're watching until a season later after Turbo, when we get to space and we follow them there. Tell me that's not a great idea. That's what they should have done. That would be amazing.
And they would be like the Bulk and Skull from the future in the comics, where they're all like Resistance fighters and like super strong characters.
Yeah, and they know what they know what they're doing, and they have like brand new skill sets, and they're not clumsy and bumbling at all, and they've really found themselves. They basically had like I know you haven't seen Terminator, but they're basically Sarah Connor from Terminator. That's what it would be. One and Only Production says, I thought those backpacks were so cool. I did too. I remember them.
They are really cool. They got like little compartments that pop out. Like, why do we not have these? We're in the future.
So we're about to do this back off shot when they go down a waterfall where she's going to go, Zeo Ranger 5, pink, and she's going to morph, but it's going to be really far back so you're not going to actually see the suit.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
That's pretty cool that you got to fight with like a giant boa constrictor.
They should have called it Turbo Almost a Power Rangers movie, or Turbo Not a Power Rangers movie, or something.
A somewhat Power Rangers movie.
They're avoiding the Power Ranger stuff as much as humanly possible in this movie.
It's so weird. Like, oh my gosh, a snake! You're a Power Ranger! What are you doing?
Frickin' morph! You shouldn't even need to morph! You can't deal with a snake? Here it comes.
Oh, there it is! Beautiful and gone. For some reason, going in water makes her unmorph.
Yeah, why would that be? Okay, so can I throw something out there? You know how Adam's Zord goes underwater?
Yeah, what in the world?
Also later, one of the only times we see one of the car Zords do anything is going to be Adam's Zord. You know where it's going to be? In the water. I think Adam's.
I've never noticed that. Yeah, he's the one that drives through the water.
Yeah.
He's he's the closest thing to an Equation Ranger we have.
And so, so first of all, that's fun. But secondly, in this movie, we're going to have Rangers in water. And yet we just had one, or at least Zords, but we just had water. What, really? Your Ranger suits aren't waterproof? It takes your suits off? That's so stupid.
I don't understand why they couldn't morph for this scene. I guess it would be dumb because they would just be fighting a snake.
Stephen Murphy says, 20 minutes in, a Ranger morphs, and they fail at it. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, tell me my Zero was wrong. I dare you.
Hey, I will give him credit. That was a cool thing that we never did in the show, morphing like in midair as you fell. That was kind of cool.
You know what, though? We do it in the show. We do it in Turbo, the series. later.
Oh, well, that's after this though.
Yeah.
She broke her leg falling into.
But when
the
it
water.
happens in that, you get to still stay morphed. Or maybe I'm thinking of the time that Justin teleports in midair. Maybe there's not an actual midair morph. I'm not sure if I'm right about that.
Okay. But yeah, this is weird. I don't know why the Power Rangers are so lame.
Yeah, they're super lame.
It's like Zeo. Well, she needs to break her leg so Larago can do his Mr. Miyagi leg heal.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's just a device to have him do something. But it makes you think, you know, these bozos shouldn't be Power Rangers. They don't even know how to use their powers when they very easily could have morphed. And I mean, yeah, it's a little embarrassing to morph to fight a snake, but there's no one around. Nobody's gonna see you do it. It's just them, and they're comfortable with each other. They're dating, probably.
Well, what's so weird is she morphed. She had to morph to take the fall, but then Tommy jumps off and he doesn't morph. And she's the one that morphed, and she got hurt. And also, he didn't get hurt.
Yeah, that's a good point. Also, remember, they're dating at the end of Zeo, or at least they went on a date, and it looks like they might keep dating.
Holding hands, yeah.
Yeah, and I don't think there's any mention of that in this at all. So maybe they've broken up by now. There's all these things you could do in between.
So much stuff.
It really does feel like a whole season of Power Rangers has passed. In fact, you're right. That should be a miniseries or maybe even an ongoing. Wouldn't it be amazing if it was like 12 or 14 issues where you just get an entire season of Power Rangers in between? Like, they have fought Zed again. I bet there's a whole Serpentera thing. I bet, like, I bet Cyclopsis comes back. I bet, I bet they bring back Scorpina.
Because this is like no other series we've done so far. They always lose their powers and have to get new powers.
Yeah, and also, there's no good reason that you need new powers in this, because nothing happens to the Zeo powers, but we're playing it as if we're doing that, and it's stupid. And like, already, even before we go to find new powers, for no good... Well, actually, we don't have to go find new powers, because Zordon just goes, I've got new powers. And you're like, oh, okay. But they have to go on a mission without powers. Isn't that what happens, or do they have to go actually get I don't think they get the turbo powers. I think he just gives them turbo powers, right?
He just gives them to them.
Yeah.
And because these powers aren't from like some crystal or something, they just made them. Like, so it's like the white power,
which
the white
doesn't make any sense.
Light.
Which means if you ever do turbo in the comics, you're also gonna have to explain where that came from, because you can't just like. The Power Ranger powers, the Morphin Grid, it's like matter. It can't be created or destroyed. You can't just go, I've got power now.
Well, they kind of did it with the White Ranger. He was kind of like a Frankenstein, just...
Yeah, in the series, but like I said, in the comics retconned it because even they knew that's dumb. Like,
yeah.
It didn't make any sense that Zordon could just go, we made a Ranger. Why didn't you do that when he was losing the Green Ranger powers then? He just goes, it's really hard. And then they do it. And it doesn't seem that hard.
Larago's pretty tall. He's so stocky.
Well, that's just because she's, like, leaning down.
He's just so big. His head is, like, bigger than both of their heads put together.
Well, yes, he's very top-heavy. He does have a giant head, but he's not tall. I guess he's maybe taller than you would expect him to be, but, I mean, she was basically genuflecting, so, you know...
The apes are waving goodbye.
One and Only Production says Green Lantern Turbo prequel. Yes, but I wouldn't want to think about it as a Turbo prequel. I would want to think of it as a Zeo sequel. You see what I'm getting at? You can just forget about Turbo after that. That would also be a great place to do the whole, well, and I guess the comics are doing this now, but that would have been a really great place to do a Goldar takeover, too. You do Zed for a while, something happens to Zed, and finally Goldar gets to be the big bad for a while. That would also be a cool thing to do in between seasons.
Wow, that'd be cool. Yeah, but you're used to comic book Goldar, not bumbling Season 3 Goldar.
Well, yes. Yeah. Comic book Goldar probably isn't constantly going,
Oh, and then the triumphant return, which isn't as big of a deal with Jason because he just left.
Just saw him. Who knows how much time passed?
Yeah, we have no idea how long he's been gone. They act like he's been gone forever. There is so much here.
There's so much. I've never thought about just how much. Yeah, there could be a whole season or two in between. There really could. So New headcanon for Jason. What I want that to be is that Jason has actually had Austin St. John's entire history between Power Rangers and coming back to going to conventions. And Jason has been an EMT, right? And he's been doing that for a while now, and so now he's finally taking some time off and going on vacation. That's what I want to think has been happening, is that he's been going off saving people not as a Power Ranger, and now he deserves a little time off because of all the people he's saved.
Pretty good.
We can make this movie better.
There's Baby Larigo.
Or we can make you wish you were watching the thing that we're talking about that doesn't exist instead of this movie. We can do that.
So she just removed a mind block from Mrs. Larigo? What is that doing? Do they have like a
I don't know.
They have a telepathic link that's like that she's blocking? She had like a Cerebro helmet on her. Why did somebody just say Power Ranger nipples in the chat?
Because somebody said something about Joel Schumacher, yeah.
Yeah, dude, I want to see that on the Power Ranger costumes. It'd be ridiculous. Rubber Power Ranger costumes.
Yeah, that is the worst Zordon ever.
Yeah, it's like a profile.
Don't zoom in on it.
It looks terrible. I like the little consoles. The consoles are cool.
Yeah, those look good. The even the shape of, the shape of the consoles, but also, sorry, for a second it looked like we were disconnected and I got distracted. But also just the graphics on the consoles. It looks a lot like what we have in space. And CUDA graphics, they are not, but they're decent than some other sci-fi shows I've seen before. So I love Babylon 5. It has the worst graphics of sci-fi shows. It's like just a bunch of random shapes. It doesn't look like it means anything. It looks completely random and arbitrary.
I wonder if the reason we don't do anything with Kat and Tommy in this is because we brought back Kim, and they don't want to do that in a kids movie. Have like him thinking about two different girls and like remembering a past girlfriend. That's too much for them.
Then don't bring her in. There's no reason Kimberly should be in this movie. You have. I mean, it's
well,
neat that she agreed to come back. And say it again.
I'm saying they do stuff with him and Kim, but I'm wondering if they don't. They kind of push the Kat stuff to the side because they didn't want that to be too complicated for kids. I don't know.
Yeah, but then that gets complicated if you've been paying attention, because it's like, why is he just jumping between girls? Like, I don't want this to be a love triangle, but it probably ought to be.
Yeah, he was with her for, what, 3 years?
Okay, so I know that they've painted their hair silver, I guess, just to tell you that they're being mind controlled. I don't understand the silver thing. I don't know why that is.
They're not even being mind controlled. They're just, their minds were jumbled in the...
that's what I mean.
So I guess they've
been mentally compromised. But you shouldn't do that with any of these actors that are supposed to still be teenagers, because it makes Bulk look like he's 40 years old.
Look, his mouth doesn't even move. This is a big budget movie. Why doesn't Zordon's mouth move?
Well, okay, so there's a reason for that, but before I explain that, let me just say that they should be using the effect they usually do, where his mouth is obscured, so it doesn't matter that it's not moving. They're just using, like, one shot of it. The thing is, they're not using David Fielding anymore, but they're still using his face. So they can't have his mouth actually move, or they'd need a different actor. So they need to obscure it so it doesn't matter if his mouth is moving.
But I'm saying they could have just filmed an actor for this.
Well, they can't, though, because...
It doesn't look anything like original Zordon anyway, with that new head effect they're doing.
No, it does. When they do the zoom in, I mean, you could tell it's David Fielding, and you could tell that it's the exact same footage they've been using from the 6 hours he sat in a chair when he was there in 1992. But you can't bring in a new actor unless you're willing to recast Zordon, because, again, this is a pilot for a show, not a movie. So moving on, it's still going to look like that. They're just doing the effect differently, and they shouldn't be. It's also a problem in the show, I think. But we only see Zordon in the pilot, and then after that, he's replaced with Demetria.
Yeah, which is even more reason for them to just use a different actor for Zordon.
They could have just introduced Demetria in this. I don't know why they didn't do that.
Yeah.
And they were smart with that, because they went, well, instead of filming a guy talking, we'll just have somebody with a veil over her mouth so that it doesn't matter that she's not talking. That's what they did with her.
They got smart. They got
wise. Exactly.
So right off the bat, these putties are much better than regular putties or any putties we've seen so far. They can ride horses, they can ride jet skis. They're pretty capable.
Tyler Overall says they could have put a dissolve mask on his mouth and have a different actor play his mouth. That would be kind of weird. But again, like, they got around this for like 2 years. Like, remember, Fielding isn't voicing him after season 1. And that's not a thing that we're complaining about when we're watching Power Rangers. They obscure the face enough that he's supposed to be in a time warp. I don't know if they did that because it's another movie and you have an actual talking Zordon head in the 95 movie. I don't know why they did that, but it's a really stupid thing.
Yeah, it's such a weird, arbitrary change.
It's not the stupidest thing.
Speaking of that
but
mouth
it's
thing,
stupid.
what is that? Have you watched that Michael Jordan documentary that just came out on Hulu?
No, thanks for reminding me. I'd like to see that.
What is it called? I can't remember what it's called, but they do some crazy thing in that where they show old commercials or like old sports broadcasters on our news broadcasters, and then they change their mouth and they make them say different things. Exactly what he's saying.
Oh,
it's
weird. I'll have to see that in context to see why in the world they thought that was a good idea.
I wish I would have told you because most people aren't noticing, but it's pretty crazy.
Okay. Weird.
So they just exchanged Larigo for the friends, but they've been duped.
So guys, we are 30 minutes into this movie, and the Power Rangers haven't done any Power Ranger stuff, and this is, like, the least accessible thing you could possibly imagine for an ongoing series. Like, somebody... If you're going to do a movie and it's going to go to the movie theater, you want it to be a thing that could win over new fans, right? Like, even if story-wise you're maybe a little bit lost because it deals a lot with continuity stuff, at least give everybody some cool stuff to look at. And I'm not saying it has to be super actor-driven, but it's Power Rangers, so it's fine if it is. But, like, have some bright colors, have some fun stuff you're looking at. Is anybody going, I gotta watch Power Rangers now, they did stuff with, like, pirates. And there's like an old, like 17th century pirate ship, and there's a, and the bad guy is seafaring and in a submarine. Yay! And what does any of this have to do with race cars?
I know. Well, that's the Sentai, man. Like, I feel bad for they really didn't have anything they could do with this season. Like, the villains are pirates, the heroes are race cars. Well, how do you make that? How do you make that work?
Sure, but adapting something weird 101. Don't make a movie in the theater first, and then name it after what the main theme of the Sentai is, Turbo. Because do you remember the advertising for that movie? They put every frame of the race car stuff in the trailers. So when you go see that movie, you're like, oh, it's Power Rangers with the race cars. That didn't appeal to me. I remember looking at a magazine. I looked at, I didn't subscribe to it, but I looked at the Power Ranger monthly magazine at the supermarket quite a bit. And I remember popping that open and being like, oh God, Turbo? Sounds terrible. Like, why are we doing race cars? And then there was a movie, and I was like, oh, that doesn't sound fun. And then I went to the movie, and I was like, I'm also not a big pirate person either. But it's not even about race cars.
Yeah, I don't know how they could have made this work.
I guess I like that Divatox looks human but isn't straight up human. So the tongue thing.
Yeah, she's got a. That was kind of
fun,
shocking.
I guess. Yeah.
I should probably turn the subtitles on at this point.
That's a good idea. Yeah. Kim just said she has a case of the munchies.
Oh,
because that sounds like a Kimberly line.
Well, you don't know, man. She's been gone. Maybe she got injured in the Olympics decathlon, and now she's using some medical marijuana to ease her pain.
She and Rocky could have a paralleled arc where they both get injured. Okay, so...
Oh, Rocky could get addicted to painkillers. This could get real dark.
So, Zordon said that they need new abilities and powers because they have to go to the Nemesis Triangle. And that's fair. The idea that you might have to go to a scary, like secretive or mysterious triangle like the Bermuda Triangle and have to sit through Star Trek Nemesis. So really good reason to... I would need new powers, too. Dune Star.
But they already have the powers. What are they going to the triangle to get?
I think that's just like
just to find them?
where they have to
pass through. Yeah.
Go find Larigo and all that. Yeah.
Mountain Blaster. Yeah, I was never a big fan of car. I'm not a big car guy, so like
I'm not either. I
the
love
car
Batmobiles,
Zords
but
are
that's as
kind of
far
like
as I get. Like, I'm not a car head. I'm not a gearhead.
they do that a lot of the Sentai though. There was Car Ranger, then there was this, or I think this might be Car Ranger, but then it comes back for
They do it as much as dinosaurs. They do it
yeah
as
yeah
much as like Ninja and stuff. Yeah.
comes back for RPM.
When we get a back off shot on this, I've mentioned this
Rescue.
before. It's gonna look like Simon. It's gonna look like the old game Simon.
There it is.
I just want them all to play Simon together. Like
That's how they
Tommy's
unlock
lights
powers.
up, and then yeah, look, it's Simon. It's ridiculous. What an Life Production says. You'd think Zordon would give them boats, though. Yeah, well, why is it cars? Zordon goes, I am limited by the Sentai. Blame the Japanese. Also, all of their Zords sound like soft drinks.
Mountain Blaster.
Yeah.
Desert Thunder.
Yeah. Dune, whatever it was.
Wind Racer, not so much. That sounds like a jacket that you would wear to jog in. So Alpha has a little bit of an upgrade in this.
Yeah, and he'll keep that. That's what he'll look like after this. But I think they basically just... I don't remember if Alpha 6 looks really any different at all. Does he have just like a slightly different head or something? I forget. But yeah, they're going to replace him with Alpha 6 very quickly. Like, you're going to get Divatox, so you're going to get an annoying Zordon and an even more annoying Alpha. It's wonderful.
I like this song, though. Make fun of me.
No, I'm not going to make fun of you. I like it, too. But again, it's a big budget pilot. Like, okay, now we feature the theme song. Because, like, this is Turbo, a Power Rangers movie, but they're...
soundtrack for this.
Yeah.
That band.
Yeah, and if you're not going to have Wasserman, I guess this is the next best thing. Like, and they picked this because it sounds kind of like a Wasserman thing.
Yeah.
I'm not sure why Wasserman didn't do this show. You couldn't find any teenagers, Zordon. You had to pick a 12-year-old.
Well, he's Tony Stark. Yeah, but at least he already has the powers. Like, why? The only thing that he has is he knows who the Power Rangers are. So Zordon's like, crap. I have to. This kid's gonna blackmail me if I don't let him be a Power Ranger.
Okay, and then here's another question. So, in our in-between series that we're making up, what happens with the Blue Ranger power? Well, I guess it's still Rocky, isn't it? And for a minute I was thinking, well, wait, we lost Billy. No, that's right. Of course, it was Rocky. So Rocky would have still been in there doing stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Momentarily, I wasn't thinking about that, right?
Unless you want to move Rocky's injury earlier in our prequel.
Yeah, but I don't think you have to retcon anything. I think it's really easy to fit everything in. Stuff had to have happened in between. Very clearly. And also because Bulk and Skull must have gone through like a whole thing that got them their jobs back and put them back in, you know, or you know, put Stone back in good graces with them and stuff. Like, you could really easily write a whole subplot with them parallel with the Rangers the entire time. Like, it's really easy to give them stuff to do.
All right, guys, we're about to enter the Pirates of the Caribbean ride. Those are some big flashlights.
Yeah, and they're not even like future-y flashlights like they had on their helmets in the last movie.
Yeah, they're just like floodlights they got from Home Depot.
Stephen Murphy, so do these 20-year-old teenagers have a license to drive these cars? They didn't have a license for the Zords. And the Zords were like...
Well, Justin can drive them. He doesn't even...
Also, these cars are ridiculous because they'll turn into bigger, more gianter cars.
Tanya's reaction was the reaction of the entire audience.
And Tommy's, too. Son of a fish. And see, he makes the license joke, too. Justin's like, do I need a license? Shut up, kid. Punch him in the face.
settle in. This is the next 40 minutes of the movie.
Yeah, we're now into the second act. We have now morphed for no reason. At least we saw some costumes.
Yeah, we saw them. They look cool. I mean,
I
they're
guess.
fine.
The turbo costumes are fine. If you have to be race car themed, it's fine.
Yeah.
Or I guess I should say vehicle themed, because some of these aren't actually race cars. Like, some of this is off-roading before it's race cars.
Well, yeah. Again, my boy Adam gets shafted. He gets the frog, and now he gets a van. Like a dad van.
See, Daniel Davis, I guess I was wrong about something I said earlier in Morphin Mania, because if he's right, he's confirmed a thing that you said earlier, which is that the reason they're chimps at the beginning of the next season is because Bulk and Skull were supposed to get their own show. I thought that was a year before that, but maybe it was between Zeo and Turbo that they were supposed to get that spin-off. But I thought it was earlier than that.
It would make sense with the last episode of Zeo where...
Yeah, but I'm not expecting anything to make sense. I don't know why they set up Zed and Rita to do something and then just forgot about them.
Oh, I saw an article or a post earlier today that you would be interested in. It was that I think we may have even like hypothesized this, but it was that Jason David Frank's brother was supposed to be the Gold Ranger.
I didn't know that.
But then obviously
did he pass
died.
away before that?
That's what this person is saying. I have no idea if this is true.
Okay, because I've never heard that. Interesting.
I'll look into it.
Well, and he was a recurring character. We see him 2 or 3 times.
And you said like, oh, he I didn't realize he came back so much. It must have been because they were trying to set him up.
Remember what else I said? He's a better actor than Jason David Frank is. He would have been a good Power Ranger. That would have been really interesting. And also, if he wanted to stick around after Tommy left, that would have been a really nice link to the earlier shows. Like write him differently, have him be a different character, but you still have a Tommy-like character there. That's his brother.
Yeah.
You have Oliver. Oh, I forgot Hope for the World was here.
Yeah, Hope for the World. It's awesome.
Crazy. That's my favorite Wasserman song.
That's from this movie.
Man. Okay, well, if I had been a Wasserman fan like I am now, that might have bumped it to a 0.5, but probably not.
That's great.
But it's stupid that it plays just over them riding on a pirate ship.
Hey, it's a hopeful pirate ship.
Oh, okay. As long as that pirate ship exists, there's hope for the world. Is that the only place that song is? I thought it was in the series somewhere, but we've watched through everything, and I don't remember ever seeing it. So maybe
not. Might use it later in Turbo, but this is what I know it from.
It's weird because we've gotten away from Wasserman, though. So is he still writing some things, or is that like an old song that they never used that finally they've gotten around to? Because it sounds like a newer kind of mix. Like, it sounds like they mixed it for this movie. It's better than their production usually is.
Yeah.
So Elgar is obnoxious. He's just got like one of the worst faces in Power Rangers for monsters.
Yeah,
I hate him.
Terrifying. It's just uncomfortable to look at him.
It's not any more terrifying than Larago, to be fair. But
I don't get grossed out by Larago.
I don't know if I would call it grossed out, but I get somewhere close to something reminiscent of being grossed out.
Someone earlier in the comments in the live chat compared Elgar's head to something that. But he said it's not After Dark, so we won't say it on the show.
Wow, One and Only Productions is also apparently a fan of Wasserman's music, and says that he also doesn't think it shows up anywhere else. That's nuts. I mean, I've listened to that song for years on the wonderful Power Rangers anniversary soundtrack from
The Redux, yeah.
The Redux, yeah, it was like 10 years ago. And I got that on vinyl a couple years ago, and that record is gorgeous, man. Oh, and you know what's cool about that vinyl? It adds some things that aren't, I don't know why they did this, I guess just so that you'd get a slightly different product. They added some things that aren't on the CD. They have some, like, scenes from the show, like, put in the middle of some of the songs, and they're integrated really well. It's kind of neat. It's not the main way I want to listen to it, but it was kind of fun to be surprised by something. So there was, like, some like, Zed stuff and some Rita stuff, and it was kind of neat.
Here's these gross-looking mucus pods.
Tyler Overall says, this without context is becoming very odd. Does it make more sense with context, or is it just as strange? I'm going to say yes to both of those things. Like, it does make sort of more sense, but it's also really strange. I mean, we're just scratching our monkey craniums watching this movie in the theater, going like, why is it a pirate ship? Why does Zordon feel the need to send them on? And then, you know, like we said earlier, why aren't we following up? If this is a pilot for a new show, why are we following up nothing from the end of last season? That thing looks like a heart. Like a
So here's where we
heart.
get Justin's backstory. He has a dead mom.
Well, that's sad, but is inappropriate for this movie.
And his dad is had to close down the martial arts studio after his mom passed away. That's where we get it. That's why he's good at fighting.
Okay, so what we're learning is that what Zordon really needs for you to be a Power Ranger is that you're like obsessed with martial arts or are smarter than he is. Because you either know about martial arts, which you don't really need to do because when you morph, that's part of your power set, just knowing how to do more martial arts. We've established this in numerous places. But if you're somebody like Billy, you get picked, I think, because Alpha is incompetent. And so I think that was a long con on Zordon's part to make him the second Alpha. I really do. I think that was always the plan.
Or you just got to be friends with martial artists like Aisha or Kat. Well,
with them, he's just filling in somewhere. I think Zordon is also kind of sexist, maybe. Is that we need girls. Tyler Overall, wasn't there also a show where the Power Rangers were pirates? The answer to that is no, but they looked like pirates. So there was a Sentai that was pirate-themed, but ours was just generically named Megaforce, and they have a big pirate ship they fly around on, and they have pirate guns, and they never, ever, ever are self-aware about the fact that they're pirates. Not one time in that show do they talk about being pirates. It is absurd. Too absurd for Power Rangers.
I gotta give Justin credit here. Because I would have screamed my face off if these three things started walking towards me in the middle of the night, and he was just like totally calm.
Kicks him.
And
then he kicks the crap out of him.
But I don't know why he was whispering. Why can't he scream? Why would he not want the Rangers to hear him?
Maybe he's afraid that they'll attack faster if he screams.
It's time to rumble.
That. Okay,
there's those lines from the first movie where everyone was throwing zingers the whole time.
Yeah, remember that? So, DJ, there are two people right now that are on this ship that I would not want involved in this fight. And they are Tommy and Kat. Because Tommy and Kat couldn't deal with a friggin' snake. And this is a three-headed dinosaur.
Why don't they morph? Why couldn't they be in Power Ranger costumes right now?
I mean, I want some out-of-costume fighting, but not for these, like, Mario movie reject creatures. That's not what you fight out of morph. You fight putties. These are monsters. I mean, maybe these are sort of something in between a Stormtrooper and a monster DJ, but...
I really hope they didn't make a person be in this suit when they threw it off the ship. That'd be terrifying.
Stephen Murphy says, when your monsters can be beaten up by kids, you know you're lower than Rito and Goldar even.
Oh, this one just like gets scared by him saying boo and runs away. Like,
oh, I forgot about that.
That might be the worst monster ever.
And also, Tommy reacts like he expected that to work. He just turns around for a second. He's like, yeah, look at this, you guys. Kat, quit acting like you're a Power Ranger. You are no longer a Power Ranger in my mind. Like, I like Kat, but she couldn't deal with a friggin' snake at the beginning of this. And again, it would be pretty embarrassing if you morphed to fight a snake, but I think she could deal with it without morphing, and then here they didn't morph either. They're lucky they didn't get their butts handed to them in that scene.
Imagine being Amy Jo Johnson or Austin St. John, like, hey, you get to come back, and you're going to be in a tank the whole time.
So you're going to be trapped in a room where you can't get out. You're not going to interact with anybody but each other for most of the movie. You're going to have to do swim stunts in an enclosed location, and then when you finally get out of here, you have to be mind-controlled and evil the rest of the movie. And Amy Jo Johnson says, how much money does it pay? Because she left over money. and they must have offered her more to do this. And again, it's neat that she is here. I mean, in the theater, that was a big deal. And then very quickly, I'm going, oh, no, she's not going to get anything to do, though.
Yeah, if it would have been like her and Zach or something. I mean, it's cool that it's Jason, but we just saw Jason, so it's not as big of a deal.
Man, if I had a nickel for every time somebody said, oh no, Power Rangers tonight. Anime 2020 also says that, and then also asks if I am dressed like a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle. No, I am not. I am wearing a Green Ranger suit, and I actually have green everything right now. I've even got green pants.
Oh my goodness, you are.
Everything.
You're the Green Ranger.
I am. I'm hiding in plain sight, you guys. Go, Green Ranger.
Yeah, we can't do that on this one because the special ranger is called a Phantom Ranger. Try coming up with a song for that.
I'll work on it. I'll work on that.
Okay, get back to me.
I wonder if Phantom Ranger has a song. He probably doesn't, though.
I don't know.
Is that Turbo? And Turbo also has that police guy, right?
Yeah, Blue Centurion,
Blue Centurion. I can never remember his name.
Oh, man.
They're about to put out an ally set, DJ, for the board game, which I'm going to start doing video games. I'm going to start doing videos on soon for Morphin Mania, probably. I just got into the miniatures game, and just today I got a bunch of new expansions for it, and I'm so excited. They're right behind me, and they're awesome, and I'm really excited about it. I got my Zed, and I'm so stoked about it. But I got a really good deal on some of them. Yeah, I'm thinking about getting into painting the miniatures. It's a miniatures game, and Jason and I have been working on it the last week, learning how to play it, and it's a lot of fun. It's cooperative. It's very difficult. It's you versus the game, and it's a lot of fun. But anyway, they're putting out an ally set pretty soon. I think it comes out in a couple weeks, DJ, that will allow you to play as some characters that aren't Rangers, including Ninjor.
Hey!
Yeah, I'm really excited about that. Yeah. Who flies around on a big Brock that I always thought was a cloud.
Mrs. Larigo is in Cerebro again.
Oh, so she's a plot device for Divatox to... And also, we don't know Divatox
that's the real Larigo now. That's Mr.
Okay.
Larigo. Mr. Larigo himself.
We don't know Divatox's
they both
actual
got Cerebros on it.
plot.
There's even a baby Cerebro.
Until the end of this. So you're just watching this going, I don't know what she's trying to do, but I guess that's par for the course for Power Ranger villains. Okay, she's evil, whatever. And then get to the end, and you're like, oh, she wants to marry a volcano. Okay.
Well, Zordon mentioned that in the opening crawl.
Oh, we already know that. Okay. All right. I forgot about that. Well, who pays attention to those?
Yeah, not us, clearly. One of us. So I really want to know what these Cerebro helmets do. Like, what are they capable of if she doesn't put these mind block things on their heads?
Tom, that is such a great point. Sorry, Tom, that is such a great point. He says, what is Divatox being so flirty for? Like, who is she being flirty for? The audience.
Well, I mean, she wants to marry the giant demon at the end. I guess she doesn't know he looks like that.
That's true, but
she's annoyed that he looks like that.
But she's acting like kind of half seductive all the time, and she's surrounded by horrifyingly ugly, like, minions, although she wants to marry a volcano, so... Maybe she actually secretly finds all of her minions attractive. Maybe there are some things going on in the submarine that we don't want to know about, DJ. Maybe that's what's going on.
Well, they've been underwater for a while.
Yep. I'm not going to say anything else. I would just leave that up to your imagination. And give you nightmares when you go to bed this evening. You're welcome.
Oh, Titanic came out in '97. We should have led more with the water-themed hints.
We should. That would have been great. Yeah, okay, so it has to be about. It's about water, and there's some almost drowning that happens. Oh man, we could have gone nuts with that.
I like Jason just losing on him.
We have really run out of ways to try to make Bulk and Skull funny. Like, now they're doing, like, stupid accents.
Yeah, what is happening with them?
I don't know. Apparently when Bulk gets his brain scrambled, he turns Swedish. I don't...
Yeah, why? Like, it would be much more funny to see them freaking out in that situation as themselves. And then they snap out of it immediately when they come to the land.
So, I've always, like I said earlier, I've always said that this is not really a movie, it's a pilot for a show, but I'm amending that tonight, as I've been talking to, it's almost more of like a weird prologue thing, where like they have to go on this big adventure to introduce a villain that they think they've beaten, and then when the show starts, it's like there's a second pilot. So what this should have been is the in-between stuff we're talking about. What if you did a big budget movie where you finally let Zed do cool, scary Zed stuff, because it's like a big movie, so you're not scared about him being too scary, and then you have them finally beat him once and for all, and then you do stupid Turbo, and then you're not stuck with any Sentai stuff. And also keep in mind that we're shooting everything in this. We're not using any Sentai footage, really. Maybe the stuff with...
It would be way too blurry to even put it on the big screen.
Yeah, like, I don't know if the volcano monster at the end... No, I think even that is gotta be ours.
We just had the suit, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So, I mean, we're not doing a whole lot of fighting in this movie, so obviously because we're having to shoot everything, we're going, okay, well, how can we try to make this look like a big-budget movie without having to actually, do stuff that's harder to do? But, like, we shot a bunch of action in seasons 2 and 3, especially 3, and a lot of it was okay. Like, a whole lot of the actual Power Ranger stuff in that season is American footage. So why couldn't we do a big, epic Zed showdown? And I know I'm on about this because I'm a big fan of Zed, but they know that there were huge fans of Zed. That's why they get to the end of Zeo, and Zed and Rita go, we're back. Fans are excited about that. This movie should have been the final confrontation with Zed. That's what it should have been, obviously, right?
Yeah, that'd be cool. Oh, hey, Kimberly wants to say Vulcan Skull. It's the skull thing.
Oh, that's a good point. She's into Skull. You know what else you could have done? You could have had the Power Rangers somehow beat Zed and lose their power simultaneously. And then when you get into Turbo, they have a reason that they have to get new powers again. You don't get the new powers in that. They somehow they beat Zed either without powers, or at the same time as they beat him, they lose their powers. That could be cool.
Well, it's ridiculous that they have to do this whole quest. They should, and not use their powers. They should be doing this to get their powers. That's what Power Rangers do. Like, why do we give them powers immediately, but then they don't use them on this whole quest anyway?
Yeah.
They should have lost. There should be a big fight in the beginning of this where they lose their Zeo powers, and then I guess they thought that was too similar. I don't know.
Yeah, it's almost like they're going for, it's almost like they're going for some kind of video game achievement. Like you got powers, but beat this villain without using them. Or, like, get there without using them. And then, I want to re-edit this where the only thing I change about it is that when you get there, it's like achievement unlocked.
Oh.
I am convinced that these actors signed on before they knew what they would be having to do in this movie. I'm convinced of that. Amy Jo Johnson and Austin St. John. I'm convinced of this.
Swimming in a tank the whole movie?
And I'm sure Austin St. John has talked about his being in this movie because he's been making a lot of videos lately, reminiscing about his days in Power Rangers. It's really ironic, too, because he used to be, like, the most silent actor on Power Rangers, where you never knew how he felt about anything, and now he is the most outspoken, most oftenly interviewed Power Ranger actor from this period.
Yeah, he's got a whole channel, man. He's pumping out videos.
Besides Jason David Frank, obviously he talks all the time too, but you never thought you'd get this much from Austin St. John, and he talks Power Rangers all the time. And you can also buy a lot of merchandise directly from him. He has almost like a whole side business where he'll sell you Jason stuff. And he has good deals on things and stuff too. Like he's not hiking up things and he's not scalping. Like he's really cool about it with his fans. But he gets his hands on. I guess he's got connections with Saban, and he gets his hands on stuff that are hard to get your hands on. You can buy things directly from him.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. What were you gonna say, DJ?
It's just annoying that whole thing is just suspense for no reason, because Jason gets caught right there and then Kimberly gets caught a little bit later. So yeah. That didn't do anything.
No, we're just padding that out. Everything in this is padding. The snake was padding. That's padding. Anytime
a Power Rangers movie.
Well, that at least would not be false advertising.
That'd be the honest trailer of this
It's
movie.
descriptive. Yeah.
Have they done this movie?
Surely not, but I'm gonna look it up.
There's no way they've done this movie.
They've done the 95. It's kind of funny.
Yeah,
I'm not the biggest fan of those, but some of them I like.
Yeah, I like the people that do them, but I don't really watch the honest trailers.
No, they have not done Turbo a Power Rangers movie.
Nor will they ever. Well, they might have to if the remake comes out. If the reboot of Power Rangers comes out and they have nothing else to do. So where do you think they shot this?
Probably
in
New
Africa
Zealand.
when
I mean,
they
I would say New
okay.
Zealand. I mean, or does the production not move there until way later?
I don't know. And then
Because I know a lot of
Darth,
the Disney
Darth
seasons
Jason.
are shot there.
Darth Jason in the background.
Oh my god, that's hilarious. I really want him to start playing piano like in the Weird Al video.
Oh, here's your favorite scene, man. Don't miss it.
Oh man, yeah, I better be watching when Zed shows up. It's not my favorite scene. Well, no, it probably is, because there's what would be a favorite scene in this movie? Like, I guess it is this.
Just smearing your favorite villain into the dirt a little bit more.
Yeah, because it's like it watches like they forgot they set them up to do a big cool thing with them, and then they put them in the movie as a cameo. Where even are they?
I think this Earth is in the background. I think they're back on the moon.
So they're
base.
back on the moon base.
What? They just completely forgot about the whole season 3. Why did?
We need comics about this. We really do.
Well, I guess it makes sense. Let's extrapolate here. They blew up the Machine Empire, so they took the moon back over.
Which they would do.
Yeah, that makes sense.
It's their
But they're
base.
just
They
sitting
established
around
it.
doing nothing, and there's Kimberly's butt,
Yeah.
and there's the Tiki Men.
It's like these are the people that Bulk and Skull were trying to dress up as when they were at the end of Zeo, when they were at the luau.
Okay, so they're not snapped
trying
out
to
of
be
it. They're
security.
still weird.
Yeah.
What should we do?
They shot all of that island stuff in Hawaii. DJ.
My wife just checked into the live show, and she said she got a Power Rangers ad.
That's great. But yeah, DJ, Hawaii is where they shot this.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it looked a little lostish. I was wondering. I was curious. Here's the backpacks. The backpacks
I was going
are
to say,
back.
we should have known because of Lost, right?
But this makes no sense. They had those backpacks. I guess it makes sense when they were still Zeo, but now they're Turbo. So those backpacks must be independent from the power. They're just like something Alpha made.
Well, they make stuff that connects to the power all the time, though. They're still wearing the same communicators they've always worn.
Yeah, that's true. Thanks. Hopefully they never break because Billy's gone.
Yeah. What are they going to do?
I
Who
think
do they have
at this
now that
point,
can fix those?
I think at this point the communicators and morphers are one and the same.
Oh, they're not wearing their regular communicators anymore? So see,
I
look,
think we may have switched.
the Green Ranger's car... Oh, and they're still numbered. Are they
Yeah,
the
would you
same
be-
numbers?
Well, no, because unless Rocky just switched out with, I guess he would have just switched out.
Okay, DJ. We got Bulk and Skull running around on an island. I'm gonna do it.
Oh, it's like Pirates of the Caribbean 2 with Jack Sparrow.
We got them running around on an island. I'm gonna do it. Dun 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 dun. Because you just lost.
Oh, okay. I was like, what are you doing? There we go. Where's the smoke monster? That'll be.
I'm doing the Lost marching music.
There
That
goes
Giacchino brings back into everything. Not everything, not anymore, but he used to.
I'm so upset that the missed opportunity that Adam didn't look at Zordon when he got the powers and say, "I'm a minivan."
Anime says, Cap confuses me. He loves films with complex stories he can thoroughly analyze, and he also loves Power Rangers. Yeah, I'm an enigma.
Oh, check it out. The ad that she got was Austin St. John and David Fielding, Thursday, June 11th.
Oh, man. Cool. I may have to watch them after it happens, because that'll probably be during my live show.
Oh, Power Rangers binoculars. You got like green and red lines on the side.
Yeah, what do those mean? Nothing.
That's kind of cool that they have like tech, Power Ranger tech when they're not Rangers. We never do that on the show because they can't show that they're Rangers.
John Ty, $5 super chat. If this movie was about defeating Zed, how would you explain him coming back in Power Rangers in space? Well, monster or bosses in Power Rangers get beat all the time, but are still around. Like all you have to do is put him back in his RV. Like,
well, he just wouldn't have came back in space. It's not like he does anything. He's just at the party.
No, that's true. I mean, you're now that you say that, like you're asking a question retroactively from what they already put in the production. If they had made that movie, he just may not have been there at the beginning of space.
Yeah, it's not like he was a big part of space. He just shows up for 2 seconds like he does here.
But I also think you could do a big like Zed season between these in comics and still make it gel with space if you have to, right?
I'm slightly interested in how they shot this. Like what are those Zords? Like big huge things that are just dragging through the water and fire right there?
I mean, we know they built these cars. So I don't know if they somehow made them so that they could put them in water and then they just have something under them that floats them, but they definitely made cars for this movie. Because there is behind-the-scenes stuff that I saw on TV when it came out where they were driving them around.
Adam is dressed like you.
Yeah, except he's not doing like a throwback Green Ranger thing. But wouldn't that be great? Wouldn't it be great if he had if he had like an old school Green Ranger shirt that he wore around, and then his friends would be like, "No, everybody's gonna know you're the Green Ranger." He's like, "That's the beauty of it. They won't because everyone's a Power Rangers fan in Angel Grove." All of us could totally wear Power Ranger shirts and no one would think we were the Power Rangers.
It's a crime that we have not talked about Christmas Ornament Man yet.
Oh, that's true. What is his name? Rhaegar or something? I forget his name now.
I don't know. But Eric always says he's the lead villain in the Sentai.
Yeah, isn't that crazy? He doesn't look like a lead villain.
That's insane.
Yeah, that's nuts if that's true. Sorry, I'm looking for his name.
Wish Eric could have
Rygog. That's it. Rygog. Eric will never watch this movie?
There he is.
My feet hurt.
I mean, I don't think it would be that hard to get Eric to watch this if he was, like, around when we did this evening, but I'm not watching this a third time, so...
The Eric version. The Eric cut.
The Eric cut. Oh, don't say release the Eric cut. Please don't make that a thing. I get crap from people all the time for Eric not being on the channel more. I don't have control over Eric. It's not like he works for me, and it's not like I have mind control. Like...
Well, you need one of these mind control helmets that Larigo and baby Larigo are wearing. See, oh, we captured her back.
But then he'd have, like, red eyes all the time.
I'm sure that would... His shrivelly cone head is so uncomfortable.
That would probably affect his ability to review things.
What is he? He looks like the Rocketeer for some reason. What is this helmet thing he's got going? He's got, like, a back jetpack thing.
Yeah, he looks like he's galvanized from Louis Kaboom and then, like, something else, right?
Yeah, his head, he looks like elf. He's got, like, elf ears.
Louis Kaboom from the previous season.
Cone head.
And then why would you name... Like, this was just really lazy, right? We got a minion called... we got a henchman called Elgar and a henchman called Rygar. Don't do that.
Maybe they're related. It's like Kal-El.
Oh, Rygog. Excuse me, Rygog. Okay. I can never remember the names of these villains.
Yeah, I don't think they told Amy Jo Johnson should be strapped to a a little bed here while these tiki men were going to be like bowing down all around her.
And then what's going to be really weird moving forward is that the big lava monster we see at the end of this that's going to fight the Megazord, the only thing that's going to feel like a Power Rangers thing after like one quick fight with the Piranhatrons is he comes back as a different character in space.
Well, he
So
doesn't
we
come
get
back.
him-
It's just that they just reuse the suit.
That's what I mean. It's a different
Yeah.
character that it just looks like him again.
That's kind of funny. That is something
That he
I
goes the
can't
wrong
believe we
way?
haven't done up to this point. Like all the Power Rangers we've had, and we haven't had someone mess up the morph yet.
It
That's
might have
kinda
been
funny.
fun if more of this was self-aware like that, but then they can't really make fun of Power Rangers tropes. They're not using them until just now.
Yeah. This is
Yeah, we're in the third act. We're finally doing Power Rangers things. And
I will
it's
say
all
one-
lame.
One thing they get over the first movie is they actually make morph sequences for this movie.
Well, yeah, because it's a pilot for a TV show. And also, they got to pad this out real hard. I mean, that movie's padded out some, too.
That's cool.
It's a decent morphing sequence.
It's so weird. Yeah. Dark Spectre. He'll come back as Dark Spectre, a completely different character.
Yes.
And just lit a little differently, so he looks more black than red.
Yeah, and Divatox has a joke where she says that Dark Spectre looks like her fiance. Like they do call attention to it. Because
Which
you
is-
gotta.
It's clearly because this is a really good suit that they made for this movie, and they just want to use it again.
Yeah.
Like, we only used it for one time. And not only does he come back as a character, he's like the big bad of Power Rangers. Like, he's the all
Behind
evil
everything.
universe.
Yep.
Yeah, when he's destroyed, everything turns good.
No, that it was because Zordon died. Everything turns good because of Zordon's energy. The Zordon wave turns all the villains good. It's not because they call it that. It's not because we took out the, or at least that's what the fandom calls it. I don't know if the show called it that. But you know, in Power Ranger circles of fans, that's what everybody calls it. But anyway, I don't think it's because we took out Dark Spectre. I think you're right that he's supposed to be like the biggest, evilest thing in the background all the time. But I don't think that it's because we took him out.
Yeah, you're right. I haven't watched that in so long. That's such a
fair.
dumb line where they're just running, and Adam says,
I don't
"This
know if
sure
I should
beats
brag
walking."
real hard for knowing Power Rangers better than you. Like, I don't know.
Why does did you hear that line? I'm sure you've made fun of it before. They're running, and Adam says, "This sure beats walking," and I'm like,
Yes,
Yep.
that is.
'Cause
Yep,
it's running.
I made fun of that in the rewind. That rewind is only like 11 or 12 minutes long, and I made sure to get that in there. Sure beats walking.
Malagor, that's what it is. Malagor.
Malagor. Yeah.
But it makes more sense in this movie because he's like a lava monster. But then he's just like
the
a
Z
space
wave
alien.
is what everybody calls it. Yeah, there you go.
Z wave.
Yep, it was the energy from Zordon's tube specifically. Yeah, that's right. See, somebody knows
Hello.
Power Rangers even better than we do.
There we go, man. Oh yeah, we're not the experts by any means.
No.
We're just the guys who have a YouTube channel that can talk about it.
That just wanted to talk about it, yeah. No, most of the things I do are to learn, not because I'm like an expert and I know a lot.
It's ridiculous that like they wanted to have all these like islanders, these locals that are like worshiping Malagor to like add to the scenery, but there's like 7 of them. It's not like there's this giant army.
That's really funny. One other thing that we should bring up is that we've got all of this Indiana Jones iconography, and the story is nothing at all like an Indiana Jones movie. Like, forget the fact that it's called Turbo, and it's weird that you're going to a kind of Indiana Jones thing. This isn't a treasure hunting movie at all. And it could have been. I mean, with race cars, it's weird, but I mean, it could have been we've got to go find this great power. And yeah, we did that in the last movie, so it would suck if we did that again, but it wouldn't suck any more than this does.
No, you don't have to worry about repeating yourself in Power Rangers. Do it again. But no worries. We'll watch it.
Yeah, see, like, she is fully committed.
We're getting finally some good Ranger action. I can't complain. That's what I've been wanting the whole movie.
HB Haga says the original cheesy Shazam show was better than this. Oh, of course it was. That's a classic. Tyler says
Demon
running.
has a whip! You were
Wait,
saying Indiana Jones.
See, we gotta have that. Yeah, of course.
It's
Tyler says, running is indeed faster than walking unless you run really slow or perhaps walk really fast. Sure beats walking.
the best
God,
line ever.
that may be the stupidest thing anybody's ever said.
I'm gonna say it from now on when I'm jogging with someone, or just
This sure beats walking.
I'm gonna say it like at all times. I'm gonna say it like, like standing. This sure beats sitting. Or no, I'm gonna say it when I'm sitting.
Yeah, or like you get in an airplane. This sure beats riding in a car all the way to Utah.
Oh, Elgor has like it's like Raphael from the Ninja Turtles movie. When he's fighting, he has like just this set face, this set angry face. It's really creepy.
One Only Productions, Justin's yells are pretty up there with Tommy's. Well, they're not as irritating as Tanya's, that's for sure. I'm always making fun of Tanya's yells. I hate them. Ha!
Well, she's a dancer, man.
Ha! Ha!
Actually, no, I she was a dancer. I don't know what Tanya is.
Tanya is a radio DJ.
I'm talking about the actor.
Oh, the actual actress? Oh, okay. I don't know what she does. No.
So this is fun. This is their funnest. They're the most fun they could have.
Now they get to be all evil and stuff. Wouldn't it have been? I mean, we can make this movie better really, really easily in a bazillion different ways. But one thing you could have done is maybe just have them come in the first place, having already been taken over. Don't even introduce them. Just bring them in now. We'd all be like, holy crap.
Oh, that'd be crazy to start the movie with that.
They got Jason, or even if we didn't bring him until the third act. Like, if that was Divatox's, like ace in the hole, if that was her secret weapon.
Or let that be the impetus that starts the movie, and that's what they take the Zeo powers from them, like, because they won't fight back.
Or it would be even cooler if they got to be evil Power Rangers.
Yes. With the sock faces. Zed's Evil Rangers.
Not those! Stop it with the sock face. What is with that cover that boom cover you sent me the other day? That has the sock the sock ranger. What are those called? The Dark Rangers, right. I'm sorry. I shouldn't be able to come up with a generic thing like Dark Rangers.
Yeah, I gotta see what that comic is about, because it was like the Dark Rangers, but it was like Rita, Goldar, Squat, Babu, and like a fifth one. I like his voice. His voice is great.
Tyler overall, the Power Rangers win the day, and one says, "This sure beats losing," and they all laugh. Cut to black.
Yes, that's a missed opportunity.
That's fantastic. Stephen Murphy, do they really need the weird raspy voices? I'm gonna go with yes.
Kimberly said it's like she's just been smoking for 10 years.
Man, this sure beats being good.
Into the fire. She's so creepy.
Into the fire. Yeah, and this is all too creepy for this movie.
What does that mean? Exceed what?
And now it suddenly has, like, Mortal Kombat vibe, which also came out this year. Wow, she's horrifying.
Let her go, and then we're going to save the day. Okay, so this is what they can do if they didn't have the helmets on. They can just heal everybody.
See, they're just magical plot devices.
Okay, so this is him getting all... Jason is in there.
Yeah.
Jason is in there.
Yeah, he is. He's got this pin-up aggression against Tommy for all these years. Except that he got to be the leader for a whole season in Zeo.
I don't get that line at all, because he's always been bigger and muscular than Tommy.
Now I've got the muscles and the muscles? The heck are you talking about? How did that give you more muscles?
Maybe it was written for Billy.
No, that would have been great. No, I've got the... Yeah, except when you get into Zeo, he is friggin' jacked.
Yeah, he was already in good shape. He was a gymnast. I think he was in better shape than Tommy, too.
One Only Productions. Pink is out, but she's also wearing pink. He's just dancing. He's just bouncing around.
Actually, the Christmas tree. See, we can't even make fun of anything in this because Divatox is doing it all for us.
No, have you noticed that? She's our eyes in. You notice every time we say something where we're trying to be disparaging to this movie, the movie beats us to the punch, or it gets to it 10 seconds after us.
How is he her nephew?
Well, you can't ask that question in Power Rangers. How are Rito and Rita related?
Well, he will also come back in the rest of Turbo, so I don't know what that is.
And he'll stick around in space for some ungodly reason.
Yeah, what in the world? Why?
Yeah, they keep him for 2 seasons.
Favorite,
it's freaking
and they had to keep him around.
Yeah, no, freaking nobody liked that character. You can't tell me one person was like, oh yeah, that guy. I can't even remember his name right now.
I mean, that's like
I have to look it up every time I say his name.
For Lord Zed.
What is his name again? Elgar. I can never remember it because he's stupid.
Look at that! Look at that great chemistry. Why couldn't they be in the rest of the movie?
Also, let's not pretend like they couldn't totally fight these guys without powers right now. They don't need powers.
I don't know. Jason couldn't beat up Cogs last episode.
HB Haga says Rito clearly takes after their father. Well, that is true.
That's very true.
I'd love to know what their mother looked like. We never get into that. The comics do, and it's really interesting.
Well, I would like to know who Lord Zed. I guess Lord Zed and Rita. When did they have the baby? Before they turned good, apparently.
You could also get that in the in-between.
Drax, or whatever his name is. What's his name?
I think it is... No, it's not Drax. What is his name? Thrax. Yeah.
There you go, man. That's where he's born. That's like the...
Because I've always said his first name is Ann. He's Ann Thrax.
That's how you remember that?
Yeah, that's how I remember that. You'll remember it now, too. It's a really good device. Deal with it.
Oh, he looks like a Piranha, which is interesting.
Stephen Murphy. Girl Ergo did the magic hand thing. Everybody is comparing them to Baby Yoda.
Hey, he would have been much bigger if he was released before Baby Yoda.
I think it's time to finally do something with our new powers.
This is a cool monster.
Yeah, no, he looks great. I would say if you watched the last third of this movie and didn't bother with the first 2/3, you'd wonder what I was talking about. You'd be like, no, this just seems like a fine Power Rangers movie. It's what you do with Power Rangers.
Yeah, basically what an episode would be.
Yeah.
Except a lot better.
So they should have just put...
Wait, why does he have lightning powers?
The last 22 minutes. I don't know. That reminds me of a monster... Remember that blue monster that's got the lightning powers in...
Silverhorn.
Silverhorn! Yeah, I can remember his name. Silverhorn. That's how you remember Silverhorns.
That's exactly how I remember Silverhorns.
Yay, we got Silverhorns in here again. I love Silverhorns.
Tanya's weapons are just like the chargers that you bring someone back to life with. That's pretty lame. Of course, Pink Ranger has a bow. She always has a bow. Red Ranger always has a sword. Hey, this is a callback to the Cosmic Cannon, because Adam has a cannon.
Oh, yes, the Cosmic Cannon.
Why can't he get up? He just fell.
Because he's fallen! And he can't get up!
Why is she saving him? I love the molten, lava look. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, somebody earlier said it looks really fake, and it does, but it's cool.
Yeah, I mean, of course. It's a rubber costume. Remember what we're watching here.
Yeah.
But it is weird that he doesn't speak. He's supposed to be this big, person she's willing to marry, but he's not. He doesn't even seem like he's full, human. He's just like a...
Yeah, Daniel Davis mentions that this was Fox's idea to try to make this some kind of a promotional tie-in, and I bet that was because Power Rangers' popularity was kind of waning. So it's like they doubled down and were like, well, we'll spend more money on a thing that's not really popular right now because it has been in the past, and we put that in the theater, maybe we can get more people to watch. Because I think it was waning during Zeo, as much as I love Gold Ranger.
Isn't it weird how stupid our brains are, and you just put it in slow-mo and it looks like it's big?
Yeah.
They're not even shooting this from underneath, really. It's just, you put it in slow-mo and our brain's like, it's bigger.
Oh, it's larger somehow.
It's so weird how that works.
Although, with that particular shot, I don't agree with you. With that particular shot, I don't think it does look bigger.
No, yeah, it doesn't look great, but it triggers a little bit in my brain.
So, that's stock footage of some actual volcano, right? But I think arc banes are stupid because if you shoot it from underneath, it absolutely looks bigger, and that's crazy. I don't understand that. Like, so we did the finale of Zeo today, and that's the first time that maybe the only time, I don't know, that we actually see the Power Rangers themselves grow big and fight monsters.
Green Ranger gets big one time.
Oh, that's true. The Green Ranger does. I'm sorry, that's true. But anyway,
first season.
Even like human beings in regular Power Ranger costumes looked big to my brain in that scene.
It's so weird. Just how cameras work.
I love Tyler's Power Ranger gags. He says, it looks really, really fake, but it's cool, was actually the tagline for Power Rangers when it was first released in the USA.
Tyler, if you haven't joined us over on Morphin Mania, you need to. Because
he also says, I can't believe they detonated a real-life volcano for this movie. This whole experience is making me want to start broadcasting these live again.
Yeah, we should talk about it. We have a good setup now.
We really should. It is definitely more fun with an audience.
Yeah.
And it helps us pad out. See, just like Power Rangers, we need padding. The difference is hopefully ours is more entertaining.
Especially with this, we need padding.
Yes. Well, yeah, but I mean, like, Power Rangers are so formulaic. There are definitely episodes where we're like, well, we're watching this again.
So, all right, Zord talk time.
Yep, let's do it.
What do we think? I know we don't like the cars already, so this is kind of already... Oh, a CG Zord. Not as bad as the first movie's horrific digital Zord, though.
No, this actually looks better, which is a crime.
Well, and that was just for one shot. Now it's
yes, but if they used it for the rest of the movie, it still would have looked better than what we got in that movie.
Yeah.
With that translucent nonsense they tried to do.
Well, this still looks better than the 2018.
It does.
2017.
It really does.
The console is really cool. I like look at that.
I think this is, so to answer your question, I think this is the best you're going to do with this theme. I think this is a fine-looking Megazord. I actually kind of like the look of it better, though, before it slims down, when it's bulkier. I forgot that they did that. Because it looks like if you made the Shogun Zord like a car Zord, or like a car Megazord.
Okay. Yeah, I probably just needed to be able to move better. We didn't want, like, pure Midas walking around.
Yeah.
But no, this is cool.
Ooh,
Obviously,
the cockpit shot is awesome.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I meant. The cockpit. Like, since it's a movie, we have a really cool cockpit. It's huge.
That's fantastic. Yeah, no, everybody's saying that this
I don't know how you could do much better with car Zords. Lightspeed Rescue we'll get to later. They also have just, like, emergency vehicles, and it's really hard to make a cool Zord.
Yeah, Tyler, if you haven't subscribed to the Morphin Mania channel and you want to watch more Power Rangers with us, make sure you do that, because we are talking about maybe starting to go live again, and that's where it would be. It wouldn't be here.
Yeah, guys, it's just Morphin Mania, the channel. We got like a ton of videos up at this point. We're all the way through Zeo. 4 seasons.
We're trying to get to where eventually you'll be able to watch every single episode of Power Rangers with us. We can't promise coherency or anything remotely insightful, but we will watch the show and say things. This all looks really good!
It just took forever.
Yeah. This movie still sucks. I mean, it really does. But you know what? That Megazord, maybe that should have popped into a 0.5, but I still like to give it a 0 because it's not a movie. But that Megazord fight is better than almost every Megazord fight in Zeo.
Well, yeah.
Which is not saying a lot.
It's kind of cool that his shield is like a tire-looking thing.
Yeah, that's fun. Well, and I also like that Megazord is not like a cross between cars and some other random things for no reason. Like we'll do later in Dino Thunder with dinosaurs and power tools.
Yeah. How do we get Bulk and Skull back to normal?
I don't know. I don't... Did they go back to normal for the same reason that Jason and Kimberly did? Because they didn't get scrambled. That was a different thing.
Oh, yeah, maybe Larago fixes them.
Because Larago can fix anything. Which means there are no stakes at all. Because if the Power Rangers get in bad shape, Larago can just be like, yeah, you're good. I mean, we don't know if that works on technology, but they can easily say it does. Just magic something, the Megazord's fixed.
There we go. We actually
They're going to go get on the hand. They have a giant Megazord hand. It looks really good. They put all their budget in the last 22 minutes. You know what they should have done? They should have made this a short film that went in front of some other kids movie. That's what it should have been. And I bet it would have helped that show more. A 20-minute Power Ranger short film that looks this good that you just put in front of Space Jam or something. You know, you just put in front of... That was earlier than this, but...
Tune in for the Power Rangers shorts.
Yeah.
Oh, but that's just rubbing...
But if Fox wanted to make this movie in order to try to get more viewers into Power Rangers, you don't make a movie and try to get people to go to it. You put it in front of a movie they're going to go to anyway, right? That's what you do. Wouldn't it be really funny if Adam got injured at the end of this and then we needed a new Green Ranger too, and that was the big cliffhanger at the end of this movie? Oh, crap, both of them. Tyler says they should have put it in front of Spawn. Because that was 97. That's amazing. Right. Oh, thanks for doing that, Tyler.
This is also more action than we got the entire movie. And more fighting than the entire season of Zeo.
Yeah, I mean, he's being hyperbolic, but not by much. So I will, link the Morphin Mania channel, in case you're too lazy to look it up. Just in case you want to, you want to keep watching Power Rangers with us, guys. Because, I mean, this is a shameless promotion show. That is part of what we're doing tonight. But mainly, we really wanted to watch this with a crowd. And this is where we were in the sequence. And we figured more folks would find us doing it on this channel than on the other channels. So... And we could live stream this stuff on the main channel and then just take it off and port it over to Morphin Mania. That's another way we could play it.
Yeah, we could.
I don't know yet.
It's an ever-evolving channel. We'll figure it out.
Yep. It changes all the time. But right now we're posting twice a week over there.
Yeah.
One Only Production says this should have been the intro. Yeah, Daniel Davis, I've heard that from a lot of people. We've tried to make sure people know about the Morphin Mania channel, but despite my best efforts, people just have not found out about it.
Yeah, we've been posting about it. We've been talking about we should talk about it on the Captain Logan show more, I guess.
We should. I've also just been trying not to be obnoxious about it.
Yeah.
Wow, what is this song? This is terrible. Turbo Tigers in the Darkest Night? What the what?
Oh, it just said Turbo Times on my subtitles.
Turbo Tigers in the Darkest Night. Ugh. Good job,
directed by Shuki Levy.
Well, yeah, I mean, he and Jonathan Zach were producing. I mean, this is the whole, normal team. I don't remember Shel Danielson's name, though. That might not be a regular show guy. That might be somebody they brought in to make it a movie, but I don't know.
Oh, you're talking about this song. You're okay. You're a little ahead of me.
No, I'm not. I'm talking about the song that was playing right at the end of the movie.
Okay.
Because we're into the credits now. This is a different song. No, it was that chick singing that was like Turbo Tiger in the Darkest Night. It was terrible. Steven says, well, that was pretty lame. Right? It was. I need energy to concentrate so I do not crash. Life's a dark and winding turn. At the end, my goals must be... inverted word order. Yikes.
Baby Yoda. Baby Larago talks like that.
As Baby Larago. Yeah. I gotta say, this is hands down the best viewing I've ever had of this movie.
Oh, that's my goal, man. I want every movie you watch to be the best viewing you've had of that movie.
It's not like it's good or anything, but I mean, the ending's fine.
I mean, when I was a kid, I always liked this better. Oh, hey, we get to see them come into the Megazord. They actually built the door coming in.
That's pretty cool. And I gotta say, Bulk and Skull getting to be inside a Megazord is a big deal for them, cool. Right? That's cool. I love that. That's neat.
Oh, they're driving it.
Oh yeah, and they're screwing it up because they're Broken Skull. They have to do that.
Are they fixed yet? I still can't tell. Is this where they get fixed?
No, I think they're still messed up. Maybe they fixed them right here.
I don't remember watching this when I was a kid. I must have turned it
forgot
off.
all about this part. Yeah.
I
almost said if I was watching this on my own, I would have turned it off by the credits. But I would have watched this on my own.
Oh, then there goes in the power chamber now.
Yeah. Are we still calling it the power chamber when we get into Turbo? I think so.
It's the command center. It's the same place. I don't know. Did we just move to a different room? Why do we call it something different?
Yes, they say that they had it. They had secret plans for it in case anything ever happened.
Oh, baby Larry goes horrifying.
Yeah. Oh my God. No, stop it. Why did we reverb Tommy's line there? That was weird. Did you hear that? Like shooting turbo.
Here's the song.
And it's good.
This is the song that you should have walked out with, not that little,
no,
like,
it really is.
Emo.
But I still think it's weird to use the regular show song that we're going to get when that show starts, and it's Go Power Rangers Turbo, and the movie is Turbo, a Power Rangers movie. I just think that's really weird.
Yeah.
Why don't you just call it
Power Rangers Turbo?
Power Rangers Turbo.
They always do that.
And the movie would be fine. You could say that if you really need to have that, that's fine.
Yeah, that sounds much better. That's
Because
more consistent
also,
with what they did the first time.
You know I'm a stickler about titles, but like it emphasizes even more how the theme of this has nothing to do with the movie. Like Turbo means nothing in this except for just the theme of the Zords. It's really dumb.
Now it's right next to that snail movie. Have you seen that animated snail movie
called Turbo? Yeah.
You know what?
Which incidentally there is a honest trailers for, but
that you just looked it up.
Yeah, because I found that when I was looking this up. But yeah,
you know what the next Power Rangers movie should be called? It should just be called Go Go Power Rangers.
Oh, of course, that would be awesome.
That's a cool title.
That movie's almost certainly going to suck, but with that premise,
I mean, if you're gonna play into the. Most people just know the song. Like,
if you're going to play on nostalgia, and then you can put the song right up front, and you don't have to, act all timid about it like the 2017 movie did. And that's perfect. No, that is what it should be called. And if you call it Go Go Power Rangers, stupid Power Ranger fanboys like me, because I hate to say that, but I feel that way sometimes, are not going to be like, oh come on, you couldn't build up the gumption to say Mighty Morphin. You don't need Mighty Morphin if you call it that.
Yeah, that's cool.
Oh, that's perfect. Yes.
I'm glad we did this commentary just so I could have that one nugget of wisdom.
All we do. So if you go over and start looking at our videos on Morphin Mania, if you're watching on Geekvolution right now, all we do is fix Power Rangers. Just every show, we just come in, we fix it. We just fix Power Rangers.
That's what we do.
I'm not pretentious at all. We fix Power Rangers.
We fixed it. Original music score. 1997. Certificate number 3,173.
Yeah, that's another Wasserman song at the end. And surely that's not the only place where that is. Because that's another song I know really well from that album. Unite, or I'm not sure what that song's actually called. But, Gonna save the world too. And I don't know what that song's actually called. Anyway. Alright, well, we watched Turbo, and it was so much more fun than I expected it to be. Not the actual movie, but just watching it with you guys.
Truly a masterpiece. 4 out of 4. Go check it out. HBO Max near you. Your mind will be blown.
I think I may have been too hard on it. I really think, like, maybe it's not fair that it's the only movie that got a 0.
Even watching your Rewind back in the day, because as a kid, I was like, I like this more than the first one. Because I was such a stickler for... I didn't like that the first one was out of continuity. Which is funny because I don't really care about continuity nowadays, if you know me. But yeah, I always liked that this was what the Power Rangers movies should be. They should tie into the show, and it was always weird to me that the first one.
That movie is super awkward that it's not though, right? Just because, like, if you're not going to be in continuity, why have Zed even show up? I don't understand what's happening, right? Like that's all really strange.
Yeah, it's so weird. But no, I liked this as a kid. But yeah, I mean, it's not as good now that I'm
even
older,
as a kid. I didn't like. We went to the theater and I went, "What are we doing?" But I mean, I was like 13.
Well, 97. I was 5.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, no, it makes a big difference. But I think even Jason, when he was younger, didn't care for this. But I don't know. I think it's not good. I think I was too hard on it. I don't think... Maybe it shouldn't be the only 0. Maybe to be fair to this, I should give something else a 0. No, I'm kidding.
You should swap it out with my super ex-girlfriend or something.
I'm still thinking like a 0.5. Yeah, maybe that should have gotten a 0. I'm still thinking a 0.5 is still fair, but I don't know. Maybe 0 is not fair. Because everything at the end looks really good. Like, to be fair, at least on a... But... Rewind is more about the storytelling than anything, of course, but, like, the production values at the end are definitely way better.
You didn't give Son of the Mask a 0?
No, I think I gave it a 0.5 for something.
Oh.
Yeah. Maybe that should have been a 0, too.
For Turbo, a Power Rangers movie. Tune in for the return of Superhero Rewind.
Don't say that.
When Cap does his rewind
oh, my
of
God.
Turbo, a Power Rangers movie. Don't
say that, because I'll screw around and do it, too, and I don't want to. Everybody, thanks a lot for watching.
Cap does it. I got him addicted to one-up arcade machines.
Yeah, I have too many of those now. Anyway, everybody, thanks so much for watching. This was so delightful. This was a lot of fun. I really appreciate you guys. We will be back again with lots more stuff on the main channel here on Geekvolution this week, and Morphin Mania. Right after this, we're going to be jumping into straight away the pilot for Turbo, which is not this, but this is like a pilot. It's like it's got 2 pilots. So in a few days, pop on back in on Morphin Mania. If you're watching this after the fact, if you're watching this live right now, we're still several weeks from getting there because we're well ahead. So anyway, you guys are great. We sure appreciate you. Thanks for watching, and we will see you again next time. Bye, folks.